Welcome back to the lab, folks. Today we're going to do another mailbag video. An enormous amount of mail has piled up here. I think it's 16 packages. Well, let's get started. So what do we have here? Okay, so this is just some hardware. We've got 3mm nuts and 4mm nuts. Well, I might also get some other sizes as well, but these I'm running really low on, so yeah, I needed to stock up on these. Okay. These are really nice. I have a few of these, but what I wanted to get was a set of these and cut them up. I want to make some shorter ones. I mean, it's fine to have these things, which are normally 1 meter long, but sometimes, if you have several of them on your bench, it kind of takes up a lot of space. They get tangled up in each other. And what I'm going to do with them, let me show you what I'm going to do with them. What I'm going to do with them is I'm going to fix them up with these. So I'll cut them, and then I'll put these on both ends. I just got to get some more of these, obviously. So I've got red, black. I could do one set. I've got red, black, yellow, and blue, and green. And so I just cut them in half. And then what I'll do is I'll make two sets. One set will be banana plug to banana plug, and the other set will be banana plug to alligator clip. All right, what do we have here now? Yeah, just some potentiometers. I'm always running out of potentiometers. But these ones here, 20K, and the specific reason I want these ones for is I've done up a little board that I'm getting made. Let me reach in here and get these. And it's to make up controls that have fine and coarse. So it's just a little board that has one of these on it and one of these. And so I'd pair a 20K main pot for the coarse with a 1K fine pot. It'll be a separate little board. I'll show you that when they come in. But that's what that idea is all about. Yeah, more hardware. So these are just the screws that go along with these nuts here. 3mm. And these ones are reasonably long. I have some shorter ones, but I've completely run out of longer ones like this. Yep, more potentiometers. These are the dual ones in the 1K. I got these specifically for those boards that I'm building up with the fine and coarse control. Yes, this is it. This is a little video camera. I had shown you those other ones. They're, an ESP32 board, and I got 2 of those, and they're installed and they work great. But I did want to get another camera, specifically for in my garage. So they come with some instructions here. Yep. So it's just a little camera module. It powers from USB. It's got this little mounting bracket here, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, I'm dying to see how this turns out. So I may do a video just on this. Yeah, this is a solder sucker. Now I have one like this I got before, and they really are my favorite kind. The way these ones work, if you're not aware, is they're it's a little pump like that, but they're really good. They have a little silicone tip on them here, silicone tube, and they give you quite a bit to go along with it. And you can buy more if you use up all of this. but it allows you to seal right up against the joint. And they're quite easy to clean, like once you use them a lot. Usually what they'll do is they'll eject the solder out the tip when you go like this. But if they don't, you can take them apart fairly easily and clean them completely. They're really handy to have. And like I say, I've had one for a few years and it's really, really nice. And it's by far my favorite solder sucker. So I thought I would get another one for my little lab up in my office. So this is the one I got some years ago. Still working perfectly. I guess it must have been about 2012 I got this. So it's about 12 years old. Still working perfectly. All metal, nicely constructed. This is two things. Yeah, so these are just some battery protection modules. I've kind of run out of the last bunch I got, so I thought I'd get more and stock up on them. These ones are specifically for lithium ion batteries. I've also need to get some for lithium polymer batteries too. And they are different. Don't make the mistake of putting one for lithium ion onto a lithium polymer battery, because a lithium polymer battery has got a much more limited voltage range than the lithium ion. And you may not want to discharge the lithium polymer battery down to 2.4 volts like a lithium ion. That could damage the battery badly and cause some unfortunate things to happen. Okay, so let's get on to this one. Okay. Yeah. So these chips here, these are Max 680. So what this chip does, and I'm going to do a video on this as well. These are really handy little chips. So let's say you've got 5 volts coming into a board and you want minus 5 volts as well. That's what these will do. You can hook this up to your 5 volt supply and it'll give you minus 5 volts, so you can have a split supply then. Yeah, okay, so this is just a little tray for holding parts when you dismantle things. And it's got this little magnetic sheet in it, which is supposed to stick down here in the middle. I've got another one of these coming too. So that should hold on to your parts a little bit better there. And if you do happen to, flip it or do something, it's not going to spray parts all over the place on you. So really handy to have. And it came with some little rubber feet too. Very nice. Let me put those on, because this is going to go into use right away. Yes. These are a couple of fans I got. They are 50mm fans. And these are for a project I have coming up. And it's really nice that they sent them in with screws too. Yeah, it's really, really nice actually. So what I'm going to do with these, I've hinted at this project before, and I've shown you some of the parts like this heatsink. I was hoping you guys could take a guess at what the project's going to be. So what will happen is I'm going to mount a fan on either end of this thing, one blowing and the other one's pulling, so that I can get a maximum flow through there that I can. And yeah, they'll get mounted up, and hopefully these screws will fit into there and tap their way in. If not, I can always tap those out. I probably will have to do that. So anybody guess what this project is going to be? Why would you need a heatsink of this shape and really want to blast some air through it? Take a guess and put in the comments below what you think this project is going to be. Make sure I don't cut through anything. What is? Oh yeah. This is just another one of those dispenser for syringes with solder paste. I've got one there I'm using for solder paste, but I also wanted one for use with just flux. So I have tubes of flux too, and this gives you such nice control over the squeezing of the stuff out that I did want to get one just for use with the Flux as well. So yeah, now I have that one. Don't have anything here that requires a lot of explanation, so this here is just a set of tweezer probes. These weren't very expensive, but they could come in real handy in, you know, just testing components, surface mount components on a board, to see if capacitors are shorted or to see if a resistor is blown or something like that. Let's give them a little check out here. That should work. Oh yeah, this is just a 2 ohm 100 watt power resistor. I've gotten this for a specific purpose. I'm going to use this in a repair I'm doing for a friend. All right, we've only got 2 to go. Let's see what we got here. Okay. This is just a little one of those testers that tests outlets. It's a particularly nice one. The reason I got this, I was over at another friend's place doing some electrical work at their cottage, and we found a lot of flaws in the way the place was wired. There were many places where the neutral and line were swapped. A very dangerous situation. And I just had my regular meter with me, my Bryman meter, and I checked it that way. But this would have made those checks very, very quick and easy. You just plug it in. Okay, so it's coming up here as telling me that the GFI test is 7 milliamps, so that's good for North America. We've got between line and neutral, we've got 118 volts. And between neutral and ground, we've got 0 volts. So that's good. That's what we want to see. So it's showing us here that we have these 2 red lights on here. It's correct. And it can detect a open ground, open neutral, live ground reverse, live neutral reverse, and live ground reverse missing ground. And of course, if you have a ground fault interrupter, you want to test, you just press that button and it should trip it with the 7 milliamp load on it. And it's the last one here, and you've seen these before. I keep buying them whenever I can get them on sale. I get them a little bit cheaper than their normal price. They normally run about $6 or $7. And if you look around carefully, you can see them pop up on those sales. You know, buy 3 things and get free shipping, and then they reduce the price of them down to $3 or $4. And I've been going through them quite a bit. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of them in use here. This one's got op amps in it, power transistors. These are PNP power transistors, and you saw the one I had for the banana plugs and jacks, and yeah. So they're very handy for having parts available to me right here at the bench. It makes it really handy to be able to access them when I need them, rather than going out to my annex out there and searching through there to try and get them. So yeah, I'll keep buying these things until I don't need them anymore. All right, folks, that's it. We got through all 16 envelopes. Simple tools, simple stock items. And that's it for the Mailbag video today. Thanks a lot for coming out, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.